But as for all the other stuff, the reality is that a bunch of grown men got upset at each other. Shit got out of control in the moment. And as I've said, and I've said a number of times before, that when this shit happens, I'm not people's mother, or their father, or their grandfather, or their great uncle. I'm none of it. That's not who I am. That's not my job. That's not what I'm supposed to do. That's not what I am. So, when cooler heads prevailed, and everyone got together, and they talked, everyone talked it out. Everyone told each other about each other and the things that pissed them off, and they got over it like grown-ups. Because that's the thing that lacks in the roleplay community this day, is the fact that these people spend more time with each other than their roommates. And everyone knows your roommate's going to piss you off. You spend more time with them than your little sister, your little brother, and they're going to piss you off. All these role players spend all this time together. They're going to piss each other off. It doesn't make it okay, or the things people say okay. It's just when you're under a microscope for 12 to 15 hours a day, this stuff is going to happen. This stuff is going to happen. And that's the reality. And the best thing that came out of this situation is that everyone that was upset with each other talked. All of them. Some of them for the first time in years. And that's a good thing. And that's a great thing. Because that's the only way things get better. And what brought everyone together is that they all like Prodigy. They all love Prodigy. And they want to see the community do well. And a lot of people dealt with a lot of different hard truths about the stuff that was going on, and everyone admitted wrong. And that's what happened in all these situations. And we don't need to go get into this stuff. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors types of thing. Especially when it's just people working out their shit. And the reality is that people just worked it out and were adults. Now, as for the bans and all that stuff, I mean, this stuff is built up over days. Contrary to popular belief, I wasn't around. And these bans got issued because I was away. I was away for 2 days. I was away for Thanksgiving, which I'm sure people can forgive. And I think that's normal for anyone that does any level of work, is that a lot of people take off Thanksgiving. That's what I did. I took off Thanksgiving the day after because I went out of town to go visit my girlfriend's family. And then shit went down. Could I have handled this by talking to people and being able to send out DMs, etc.? Absolutely. Could have been handled better? Yes. Everything can always be handled better. There's improvements in everything. But for people to sit down and talk like not every other server has handled situations that get out of control like this, that is revisionist history. And it's just not true. Every server has a ban message that says permanent ban and says talk to an admin for temporary bans. It's archaic. It's draconian, but it's the standard. So, don't get mad at us for this standard. Of course, hold us accountable. Because we did feel accountable. So what we did is, within the first day, me and Byte saw the issue. We said, okay. Shotz explained it. He was very compassionate towards like what happened. And like the reason a lot of people spun out was due to the fact that it looked like it was a permanent ban. So what we did is we added features to the website now that when we have to like time people out temporarily to talk to them, it literally will say staff has to talk to you. It doesn't say permanent ban anymore. It's an easy fix, but it's an archaic and draconian thing that all roleplay servers do, and it sucks. You innovate and you improve things, and that's what we do, and that's what we've always done on Prodigy, and that's what we'll keep doing. So keep hating for the people who want to keep hating. I know that none of this is going to make a difference for you. You know, like sometimes people like what they like, and some people don't like what they don't like, and that's okay. You can not like Prodigy, you can not like me, and that is okay. Please I'm okay with that because that's how things get better. That's what spurs innovation. That's what makes these servers better. This is what's going to make NoPixel better. That's what's going to make us better. This is what will make Purple better. There are smart people in charge or developing on all of these servers. And the criticisms, legitimate criticisms, make us all better. That's okay. It's okay to criticize. It's okay to give feedback. Now, don't shit on Koil. Listen, you can say what you want about Koil at the end of the day. But Koil was an innovator in this space. Regardless of what you think about him or what your opinion is, I have respect for Koil because he's done this for years and he survived. I'm just saying in general, like, I'm not here to shit talk him or shit talk NoPixel. They've innovated this space, and it's they're a huge reason why GTA has grown to the level that it has for roleplay. So, I mean, don't shit on NoPixel here. So, listen, people can have their opinions or their criticisms, but at the end of the day, like, you can't take that shit away from them, period. And I have respect for Koil. I respect for anyone who runs a server. The next thing I will say on this whole matter is the fact that the live banning stuff is something that is against our policy on Prodigy. It always has been. People know this. I've had this opinion since Twitch RP, since I've been doing this for almost a decade. I don't agree with live banning. And that wasn't the intention of the admins after talking to everyone. They thought OTT Maximus had logged off, so they issued the temp ban. It came up as permanent, which caused issues. And then the other two they didn't know were streaming. The two people that did actually a live ban. The one person who did, okay, and I think Ken's will be fine with me saying this, is like the dude was coming that literally, he got on the server to shoot. His name was For the Homies, and he got on there and said he was going on to shoot. And then he posted on Reddit the same thing. You know, that's the one call I made after I was called at a bar. He was doing it for his friends. It's no different than what CG's done when people in their groups and band, people get heated and they get worked up. It is what it is. None of it is right. But we had a choice here. We had a choice to try to pay forward and make better for the server with a bunch of people who were there and want to make the server better. And we're saying, okay, the way we've been acting needs to be better. We need to set a better example. And we can ban people on all sides. Or we can say, let's try to make this shit better. Let's hit a redo and try to do this better. And that was the choice we made. And that could be the right choice or it could be the wrong choice. But I think that was the best choice for the server at this point in time. Why is CG able to spawn in helis with guns, but not... Has CG spawned in helis with guns? Genuinely, if they could pull that off, I would love to know. Because that's something that I will correct very fucking quick. But I don't think so. I don't think they can know. The chaos stuff, that's because we gave Shotz an admin menu for the event. And we've given Cap an admin menu for events. And we've given Jar Jar. Like, people who come and want to make events with us and want to be monitored and supervised by admins, we'll do it. It's okay. As long as someone's trusted in the community and we know them, it's fine. It's fine. Outside of that, guys, like, at the end of the day, I think the last 3 weeks isn't just a Prodigy problem. This is a roleplay problem in general. And if we want the roleplay community to be less toxic, we need our streamers to be talking. We need people to be hashing out their beefs. And for better or for worse, over the last couple of days, the best thing that happened here is that people got to hash out their fucking shit. I even heard Hutch today hashed out shit or something on his stream with the guys. It seems like everyone is coming to the thing like, hey, everything's getting too heated and everyone needs to fucking... We just need to be on the same team. And I can tell you that that is the best news I've heard all week. That makes my job easier. That's good for the server. That's good for everyone. I think this is a great learning experience for everyone. And was it good? Everything that happened? No. I don't think so. That everything that happened wasn't a great look. It aired out a lot of dirty laundry that probably didn't need to happen. But I think a lot of good came from that as a result. Something needed to give, and yeah. That's just where we're at. And hopefully that gave, and like everyone's kind of resetting on a better path. So why mods deleting? Okay, ask the glitch roll questions. I don't care. Like, listen, I'm an open book. If you have a question for me, I will answer it. A legitimate question. I have no problem with that. Yeah, guys, let it run. My mods are just being protective. They've been with me a long time, guys, and they just want to make sure that like they're not trying to over moderate. They're trying to protect me. But it's okay. Ask anything. Go ahead. If I want to answer it, I'll answer it. So ask the literal ones. Why weren't there temp bans like CG got? Again, I wasn't there to issue the bans, but from what I understand, the rationale and the logic was that a lot of those guys start to end their streams in the mid-afternoon, right? And we ban when they're done their streams. Two of the people they didn't know were streaming, and then therefore that's why the bans went out, because they thought everyone was done for the day. So you temp ban, you cool everyone down, CG ends in the night, and then you start hitting bans there. That's generally how it works. It just didn't get to that point. Because stuff really melted down, guys. Like, it really melted down. Like, things got very out of control. And I wasn't around. You gotta realize, like, I'm oftentimes the steady hand with all the other creators. Like, I'm the person that does most of the talking with them. I wasn't around. Well, may I ask out of curiosity, are you able to say anything regarding the drug system? What can be done to improve it? There's a bit of gaming system situation going. If you could elaborate, I'll try to answer it. Were the bans justified? I think some of them were, to be honest. Like, I think like some of the bans, at least for a temporary to talk to an admin, were absolutely justified. Was it justified for them to say permanent and freak people out and feel like their families weren't going to get fed and there wasn't going to be food on their table tomorrow? And to cause that level of anxiety? No. I have an unrelated question. What are your thoughts on gangs keeping one joint in their pockets so they can sell one joint for rep? I think that's shit, honestly, Memory. And that's a good point. If that's happening, what you should do is I would really love to see that as a ticket on the website so we can address it, to be fair, or in a feedback thread. In your opinion, should the RedM server have updated later this week or earlier? Not regarding the poll, but just how you felt. I wanted to launch it today because it was time. The tech, just so people know, we're ready to launch today. And then we have an internet provider that basically, we have Sirens MC, Vest for females. We have some females in pub servers. Ask Red, I'm sure. In your opinion, should the RedM server have updated later this? We were told to remove those, I think. So just ask Red and figure it out. I don't care if they're back in. I don't really care. It really depends if the people who own that material are good with it. Red would know better than I would. With RedM, some tech, we had the hard drives were slow. So after like a week of like, there's a bunch of stuff on this box, like doing like our funnel and IP whitelisting and stuff, because we're doing our own custom DDoS solution. And the tech gets the ticket and because the hard drive is slow, and then fucking the guy for some reason wipes the drive without telling us or asking us. So we got set back on RedM. I don't know for how long yet. We'll see. Now that everyone is unbanned, the narrative is they are victims, but they still are unfit for the server. Listen, man, the shit that happened on Friday that I've seen, and I haven't even looked at it all because I couldn't be bothered. Because what I saw happening was that shit just went out the window. Like, let's be honest. Everything that happened on Friday, it's hard to call it roleplay, and I think everyone involved in that would agree. Listen, everyone had a tough time and a tough day that day. But let's just call it how it is. That was, everyone is going to be the victim of their own story in that situation. But I think after talking to each other, everyone on Saturday, everyone feels like, okay, you know, everyone felt like there was a part of that blame that was in there. There's blame on the staff side. There's blame everywhere. You know, like, we just got to be better about talking to each other and not letting things spiral. People say a lot of shit in the moment that they don't mean. They were sure using, well, I'm not going to say like if someone was for sure using a glitch or not without someone giving an example. Remember PFV was there a rule break in the SSK versus CG situation? This has set a bad example for others, so that type of gameplay is okay. Listen, I thought there was a lot of questionable stuff in the entirety of the conflict, because I think what happened is everyone was getting frustrated and people were just clapping back with the same energy they were getting. And that's a vicious cycle. I think there were definite rule breaks in that entire thing on all sides. And I think everyone would agree. Like, I don't think there's any disagreements on any sides there. I think you can ask Kevin or you can ask Maximus. Like, I think they'd say the same thing. Why do you ban out? Why don't you just ban them and have them get off? Because we don't like to interrupt things in the middle of the stream. Because listen, you get a message while you're streaming. That is a time where you're vulnerable. Every moment that you have is being recorded. There's a visceral reaction that you can have while you're streaming. That was like that you can say stuff that you don't mean, and that makes the situation worse. So we'd rather just deal with it after if it's possible. There'll be more turfs. Yeah. My dog is a multi Shih Tzu mixed with a mini golden retriever. Multiple use of glitch rolls is what got me, and the lack of RP. I think the gang wars on the server in general have a lack of RP right now. And I think the biggest takeaway we all had from that conversation between Shotz, Maximus, me, the SSK guys, was that there needs to be a higher level of roleplay, and we all need to be setting the standard. So I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you, dude, on that one. As for glitch rolls, I think we've addressed that issue of why those things are seen that way. I think there was some believability there that it wasn't intentional, and I'm okay to give the benefit of the doubt, and we're all good if we can look at that stuff and be like, hey, we're gonna try not to, we're gonna be more conscious of doing that stuff in the future. Yeah, chatters always react without knowing everything, but can you really blame them? I mean, that's the whole thing. You're like watching a TV show. It's gonna happen. Like, there's no battling that. Will you add Ozempic to this? No, we're not getting on that topic. With everything going on and everyone talking about bad things, I want to thank you. Thanks, man. Listen, I appreciate you. I'm not a victim here, though. How long were you investigating the bans? There were reports open on this thing for like a week, and they weren't all reported by CG or anyone else. There was like a number of reports on a number of different people on CG and on SSK. Like there was a bunch of stuff. There was a ton on SSK over different stuff. Some may be legitimate, some not. And it's hard to paint the full group. Like, you guys are going to look at a very black and white as like the reports on SSK. The reports were on individual people. And not all of SSK was banned, by the way. There were 6 people banned. So right now, what some gangs are doing is stocking up on blueprints for drugs. They're making all their drugs on the last day and selling one joint at a time so they can boost their temporary source. Insane numbers. Case point ESB were able to get their turf to over 1,000. Yeah, report that and we'll have a look at it. That sounds strange, not intended. Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest takeaway from this prof is just basically everyone needs to talk earlier. Everyone's getting wound up, and it just needs to not happen. Yeah, that guy is gonna get an earful from his boss for sure. They found they were set up. No. You think I have a soft spot for OTT? Well, I don't think he would agree with you, because I ended up, listen, I'll just say it. Me and him were yelling at each other in the call, and it was a Nova Scotianer, a Maritimer, yelling at a Newfie, and it sounded like 2 Muppets going after it. And finally, Shotz was like, what the fuck are the both of you saying? And then we all laughed, and then we were done yelling at each other. So, listen, you don't always know what goes on behind closed doors, guys. Like, I have respect for all of these people on a base level from a professional standpoint, right? But it doesn't mean that I haven't said anything to people, or I haven't said, hey, I don't think you should be doing that, or this or the other thing. You know, like, I try my best to give people the benefit of the doubt where I can, and to hear them out. I'm tough, but like, people have known me for years. Know I'm tough, but I am fair, and I will admit when I'm wrong. It might take me a little bit to get there, but I will admit it, and I will own it when I'm wrong. Max's crew, stop it, blah, 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 field of views and everything. Okay, the field of view stuff, like, that shit was addressed with them. It's done. And I just want to be really clear. The field of view shit is not allowed on the server. Period. I don't know why that's ambiguous. It's not. It's not allowed. And I will ban people for it. Like, we have banned people for that shit and these shit or graphics mods a lot. So, and we will continue to do so. Like, it's just not allowed. It's been dealt with. You know, everyone realizes now, and that's good. How do you manage everyone's egos? Let me tell you something. In everything you do in life, everyone will have an ego. At work, it's no different with streamers. It's no different with the staff. Everyone has pride and an ego. How it shows up is different. You manage people's egos by trying to be understanding and listening. You listen, and then you know, that's pretty much it. You have to make people feel heard. I do have serious questions. Anyone clarify the rules for defending a HQ breach? A lot of people don't know what to do with the alert goes off and all. It's 5v5. It's 5v5 unless it's your turf. That's clear in the rules. I mean, people already kissed and made up. Last I checked, they were all going to wake up naked in the beds and stuff. I don't know if that happened. I withdrew the ERP rule for a little bit. Scroll down and see. I can't answer all these questions. The chat fucking spiraled. Why is Red frowning? Why are you frowning? What had happened? Like, I was so scrolled up in my chat trying to go through all these questions. When will Bipod be unbanned? When he stops copyright infringing me. Because the other day, he took the title that I've been using to drama bait Reddit, addressing the drama, comma, and he used that for himself. And from my perspective, I need to copyright strike him, number one. And number two, we can't have copyright infringers on the server. So there is that. Also, he tried to convince me that he owned one of the clip channels yesterday and tried to get one of them to message me saying it was him to say that he should get prio. So, dear Ravage, when will you spawn in $1 million so my gang can be competitive, can win competitive roleplay? Whippy, I can do that just because the narrative has been so much about people's phalluses over the last 72 hours and how much I love them, that I think what's one more phallus that I can add to the equation with Whippies. So yeah, sure, let's give $1 million to the BBMC, or what's your guys' name on this server? Hey, listen, one more phallus to this equation, what's wrong? You know, I'll sprout another hand. What could go wrong? We're good. In my gravy and elsewhere, please get it right, okay? You need to read the comments correctly. Okay, honestly, I was gonna make a song out of the comments I got this time because it was all, but then I just realized it pretty much was just copyright infringing on Dear Penis at that point because it was all dick and penis stuff. So, that was kind of where we were at with it. I just don't really understand, like, why are all these people so obsessed? I don't get it with phalluses. Like, what is the penis envy? Like, what is going on with people? I just don't get it. Like, honest to God, I just don't get it. Oh, for the people like coming in late, like that, all the people like commenting at me this time, it was all penis stuff. It was gross, like all of it. It just was so unoriginal this time. Like, it was bad. Like, listen, usually it's much more creative than it was this time, and I was just disappointed because there was just much more effort put in the insults before, but this time it was all this penis, that penis. It was listen, we can go through them. I can show you guys on Twitter, like, just alone there. Like, I would say it's 90% phallic content. About 90%, give or take. But hey, guys, Whippy's a millionaire. Round of applause. 07's in the chat for the other gangs. All right. Do we have any other questions here? Yes, we wanted to release Class A cars before the world fell apart. Hopefully we'll do that today or tomorrow. On another note, our houses and the gang app going to get more upgrades to allow more people to join. So the max is more than 10 for houses or 28 for gang table. Oh yeah, we can look at all that stuff. Just keep that feedback coming, and that's easy shit for us to fix. We'll do that. That's no problem. I think that just makes sense. It's probably just an oversight on our part on game design, honestly. That shit happens sometimes. Little things like that we miss. Elections win soon. I just have gotten absolutely boned on travel. So, and then when I traveled this time, I got boned with all the stuff going on. Cat Fires needs 1 million too. Yeah, sure, she can have 1 million. But she has to make the cat gang. Can't give it to CG. Are you a Cowboys? I've never been to a football game in my life. Can you remove rolling from the server? It gives GTA. We thought about it. So we did remove this thing. Do you guys see this? Like, you can't roll to the side anymore. See? I'm spamming my fucking... You only do it up against the wall, see? And that's backwards. Is when I press one of the movement keys. See? When I press forward. It's the only way you can sideways roll anymore. See? You have to go backwards. I hit the back key that time. And that's how you kind of roll in place. And that's the last thing I think we need to fix is that. You can roll backwards and forwards. You can't do the side rolls without a backward roll attached, which is like kind of a backwards to the left or right. Or rolling in place, basically. You don't do the teleportation anymore. You shouldn't be able to. Yeah, I'm glitch rolling like a pro right now, actually. But the real glitch roll isn't that one. It's this, I think. Hold on. I've been at this a long time. People forget that I've got almost like eight or 9 years of server management and stuff now. Like, I've seen everything at this point. Okay, so the problem is, candidly, and I'll just tell people because we're going to switch our server, is the server provider we had, the way they do the connections and DDoS protection, it becomes more notable when you do this type of thing with desync. So what ends up happening is it makes you teleport and stuff when you do these things that normally it wouldn't be as big of a deal on other servers, just due to the way our DDoS protection works. We're changing that entirely now. But some fucking intern in Kansas City just deleted all our shit, which I just told you guys, so that'll just take us a little bit longer. More properties open up. Will gangs be able to move their table? We can look at it as we open new areas. We can do like a period where you can move to those areas. How do you combat people who don't stream and take the piss using exploits, cheats, or whatever? Well, let me tell you, we have a lot of different things we can do that people don't realize. We have mechanisms that can screenshot your screen and video record what's happening on your screen in terms of the game GTA. Like, we have the things that monitor your percentage of headshots that you make. We have a lot of different shit. Like, you guys would be really surprised at the resources we actually have to monitor this type of thing. We don't auto ban for a lot of these things because we do know there's variants, but yeah, there's a lot of different tools we have that we look into people with. So, and then I have Bipod, who sometimes I will enlist because who knows a cheater better than a cheater. Boom, boom, boom. Hit the drum roll. Everyone was just shocked. I hope that gets clipped. Ravage calls bipod a cheater. Real drama. Please gotta let it be known that we can see people slash me. Yeah, we can see people slash me's. It flags for different words. You got what reputation, brother? We have slash me logs, all that type of stuff, so we can see ERP if people are doing it. A lot of people ERP. Let me tell you this play. You'd be surprised how many people try to ERP in our server. Roleplay is dirty, man. People are trying to do that stuff all over the place. So Shotz and Ramee, Curtis and Patel. Yeah. AM Peanut, yep. Yep. Zolo and everybody. Yeah. Nash Masterson and Ramee. That was the shocker for me. Like, when I saw those slash me's, that had me shook. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, those ones were ridiculous. Like, those guys need to calm it down. Nash Masterson and Ramee, those were insane. Yeah. Yeah. And don't even get me started. Don't even get me started with the ones with Whippy and Carmine Costello. With Dundee and Carmine Costello. Those were wild. Like, full on. I've never seen anyone do that with Vegemite before in my life. What I read. I'm just saying. So, listen. You see some wild stuff. Does anyone else have any more questions? This is the price for your $1 million, Whippy. Nash could never. See, we have someone admin abusing. How are you going to handle class 2 weapons like your... So that stuff's going to be smuggled through the rooms. Top gangs are going to be able to get a room that you smuggle that stuff through a mission. We've released Pleto housing, so that's on the way. Can we make Saturday a 2-hour bike duty with booty shorts, please? Done. SCG versus SSK, but sort of Tater versus PD, not sort of because not talking out. Yeah, let me be honest. Like, the reality is that I'm, number one, extremely busy. And then number two, I'm just a person where I don't want to talk about shit that's happening behind closed doors because it's not appropriate. He doesn't need that in his life. I don't need it in mine. At some point, we will talk it out. But that day is not the day, and I will not be rushed on it.
Brother?
It's been that pocket wiping is against server rules. Can we get an explanation of what is considered actual pocket wiping? Absolutely. Pocket wiping is like taking all of like your civilian shit. Like just literally cleaning someone out with stuff you don't need. A lot of people go and they just start loot boxing someone, like taking their sandwiches and stuff. Like taking their criminal stuff, sure. That's fine. That's good. It's fair game. But you start taking their grandma sandwich, etc. Then it becomes a problem. Maddie. Very pertinent question. What's your favorite skateboarding stunt? Probably the one with the skateboard. Go another situation like that though. Another court case. Which one was that? Yes, on old mods. Are you going to fix some of the clothing that just clips through? You guys should report it because we have Alvar working all the time. We need to expand our clothing team. My sister just got back from her date. What are you talking about? Oh, my RP sister. I was really confused. When will It's John Wright going to get punished for ERPing? I've been trying, dude, but people keep protecting him. There's some favoritism going down. That man's ERPing all the time. I've never seen so many romantic chopper rides in my life. When can we see a Reeker stream? A Reeker was unselfishly for other people on the server, not for me. So I haven't done it. Oh, there he is. Everyone shame John Wright for ERPing. People are confused what they're allowed to do, and I mean, I'll take it under advisement, and maybe we'll put out an announcement or a rule clarification. It's a heist. I mean, like, it shouldn't be confusing for people. Is removing walking when handcuffed? No. No. Like, listen, who wants to be handcuffed as a criminal and be immediately just unable to move at all? That will ruin the play experience of the vast majority of the server. Like, I'm sorry. If you genuinely think about that, that is not the way it should be. PD should get pings for ERP and arrest them. Thoughts? Yeah, but there's a problem where MRPD will be the place pinged the most. Turf is like really well defined in the rules, by the way, guys. Like, it's really well defined. Like, it's pretty specific. Will Tinker ever get his date with Commish? No, because Tinker bitches too much about the commissioner. The commissioner won't date anyone talking ill of him. He has more self-respect. He's a classy lady. When HQ gets breached, the entire game being breached get notified so they don't know who all can come. That's where the confusion comes in. Okay, I will look to clarify. Gangs be able to change their HQs, and yes, we'll do something in the future. BD should be able to do more than cuffed crims or just walking around ruins. Well, man, here, give me a suggestion on what would be better, because just cuffing criminals in place, that's not the solution. It sucks. It removes the agency of the player, and one thing that I learned very early on is removing the agency of players fucking sucks and should be a last resort. Thank you, Lord Gardy. Her wound is starting to heal up, almost on her left side now. She just had a nice road trip this weekend. You require a min-max level shaders and experience level shaders to make it look like GTA 7 and give the RPer an edge. Yeah, dude, we can pick out someone who has arena graphics in a second, and we're not okay with them. So people who like put shaders into place where like does vibrant, bright, and all those things, like, we know what that's for. As a crim viewer, the copper's crim number should be 2-to-1, so 10v5. I mean, we'll look at it. I have a lot of thoughts on criminal stuff. Listen, I had another conversation that came out of the last couple of days. I had a really good conversation with Kevin after everything happened, and I think he wanted to be really clear, like, when he can, you know, when he's giving feedback and stuff on his stream, that his feedback is something that shouldn't be like the be all end all or be held to a big thing. So like in terms of like cop numbers and stuff like that, I just really came to an understanding that I was really trying to appease all sides on the cop numbers, the crims and the cops. And I think what I was potentially, well, I don't think it's way too low. I think you're crazy. But I think like eight too low, I'll accept, but saying way too low is insane because you have a 3-man advantage. Yeah, so I think we hear a lot of criminals, and not just Kevin, by the way. I just want to be clear, like, it's not just him. But like, we hear all of this feedback and we're taking it in all the time, but a lot of it is like visceral feedback instead of like well thought out. And I'm just going to start doing things and upping the numbers as I see fit, and doing the things as I see fit, and then I will adjust based on data. And that's it. That's because it is knee-jerk. Like, and it's not me that's knee-jerking, like, which people think a lot of times. A lot of times it's the devs. Like, they're in everyone's streams. They're listening to stuff, listening to feedback all the time, which is a good thing, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the devs going in and listening to all the feedback is good. What they need to get better at, and God bless them, is the fact that they can't just take the visceral reaction. They have to take a more data-based approach to looking at things when this stuff happens, because a lot of times they're doing stuff to like appease and help and make the player feel better, right? And that's the problem, is that there's a lot of decisions that have been made in the last like month or so, especially like the thing you need to understand. Don't 07 Smaxney. Smaxney's fine. He's great. He's an extremely valued member of the team. He's great. No one can shit on Smaxney for taking feedback and implement. No one can do that. Or any of our devs. Like, our devs are just trying to make our players happy at the end of the day. They're trying to listen to player feedback. The problem is that you can't always take player feedback at exact face value, right? You can't do that. You need to take a data-driven approach with the feedback. Like, there's a feeling portion of it, and then there's a factual portion of it. And we have to find the balance there on Prodigy, which we will do, and we'll figure it out. The thing people still forget is that we're still fairly young as a server, and we have a lot of developers, but that have just been put into a lot of professional development practices, and everyone's learning. Everyone wants to see the server do well, and what ends up happening is sometimes we overcorrect or we try to make people too happy. And the thing with feedback is that you just can't give everyone what they want all the time, because what people want isn't always the best solution to a problem, right? Sometimes we need to make the solution ourselves rather than take the solution from the players. And that's just the way it is. So like, that was a good conversation we had there, just knowing that a lot of that stuff was happening. And I think Kevin realized that, and a lot of the other guys realized that that stuff was happening. Some of it, like, I didn't even know that it was really happening, to be honest, just because the guys are so swift on making changes that, like, it just happens. You know, they get it, changes out, and it just happens. We just have to do better at, like, taking it slower on some of these changes. We don't need everything out by the next restart. Sometimes we just need to take it a little bit extra and talk it out and come to a solution. That's all it is. The devs are amazing, by the way. That's a lot of L stuff. Yeah, I know. Who's the actual owner of the roleplay server? Is it you or some? It's Loaded owns Prodigy. People calling me the owner incorrect. I do run the day-to-day for Loaded, though. Like, I run every aspect of this. The development, I run the business and expansion side, making sure all the devs get paid, their payments, all that stuff. Like, all that stuff I do. Yes. From a business perspective, you'd call me the head of, director of this project, this thing. No, the CEO would be I would be the director, head of this thing. Sometimes this would be called the product owner. Sometimes people will call this director of the whatever operations they consider this. You know, like, we don't have a title on it because I don't really give a shit. Is this all new to me? No, you have to be more specific, dude. How would one go about suggesting major features and such? The feedback channels, mostly. Yeah, I run this for Loaded. That's the way this works. Can I mold Shotz right now, trying to get a clip? Shotz asked to talk to me hours ago and then ghosted me, so he molded me. I'm not in a position to mold him right now. It's a joke, by the way. I'll just catch him tomorrow. If he's out there watching. That was to mold him. The HQ breach. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at the HQ breach. And the Kiwi Eagle Storm we're going to have a look at as well. We wanted to have a look at it before, but things were popping off. On the server's source of income, or would that be too much for a risk? I never thought of primarily focusing on the server. The reality is that, how do I answer this? I end up having to spend too much time on Prodigy for the return I get at the moment, to be honest. I do this mostly out of obligation to the community because I made this deal and I made this community. The community's my baby. But the stress is a lot. To be completely frank and like from a human perspective, it's a lot. I don't like, you guys probably think I get tons of money and stuff like that. I don't, right? Like, it's not like that. For me, this is mostly a passion project. And there is coming a point. I'll be honest, like, the stress for me and the inability to like have a social life at times because I'm just getting called away from, you know, like things I have to do, and you know, from friends, family, relationships, and things I have to do. Like, it is getting to a point where I don't know how much longer I can do this in the current form. So I would probably have to focus on it, or not take as big as a front facing role. Like, it's a lot. Like, this takes a lot. Like, I don't think people understand how much work goes into this on my side. Like, I don't think people would believe me if I told you everything I did in a week. I don't think people would believe me that I took a 14-hour car ride and 12 of those hours was on calls trying to sort out stuff from the server from the past 72 hours. I don't think people get that. And that's the reality of the situation, is that like there is coming a time where I have to do this as a primary focus, or I have to like switch things up where I have to not take such a front facing involvement, because the stress is a lot, to be very honest. Like, I'm not, so Ravage has a girlfriend, bro. Ravage just spent a week in Tennessee with his girlfriend. Yes, you're right. I was alone, actually. You're right. I'm Ravage. I'm a big virgin. That's me. You caught me. This is all I do my whole life. I admit it, guys. I'm a virgin. I'm just telling you candidly. I'm a virgin. I'm here to admit it. I am. I apologize. I've been hiding it all this time. I'm a big old virgin. I'm a big old virgin with a micro penis. You caught me. That's me. You can clip that. Have fun. That's me. Any other questions? Looking for a more in-depth towing company. Is it possible for MLOs for said businesses as a look when we get into like having to make someone's role play from an MLO, that's less likely. If someone makes role play to dictate an MLO, that's more likely to happen. Didn't know you play hop. Yeah, they asked me to play. I'll play a game of hop outs with them if they want. I have no problem. You should appoint an admin you trust to cover the work you don't want to cover. I do, Mike. I think you don't realize how plentiful the work is. It's a lot. I can't even imagine how shit server managing is here. I did this shit on G. Listen, it's a lot of work. It's not that it's shit. It can be rewarding because, you know, you do stuff and you make something that people love and enjoy. And that is fulfilling. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, managing Prodigy is the bane of my existence, but it is stressful. Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person, SMB so-calls, where I will always do something, right? Like, I will always have a side project I'll probably be working away on. That's just who I am. I'm just a very hard worker. Oh, here we go. I have a question. Do you not see the irony when you ban people for clout chasing, all while you are on your hands and knees for Lord Kebun and CG? Listen. Am I on my knees for them? Maximus? Whippy? Hutch? I don't know anymore because people tell me I'm on my hands and knees for everyone. I guess that's just who I am. I'm just this. When can I blast some weed to make wax and blow myself? What the fuck? Bro, you guys need help. What would you tell your younger self thinking of doing a GTA server? Dude, doing GTA servers and all these different RP servers are a big reason that I went to the games industry in the first place. Like, this gave me the experience. I'd tell myself to keep going, but to pace myself more, you know, to your real world. Don't lose real world relationships, and don't lose yourself. I would tell myself to not take it so seriously, because for years I did. Too serious, and it nearly ruined my life. Any chance you could hire someone to help you with the management? Yeah, it's just tough. It's a very it's a very hard thing to do. Like, I don't think you guys understand. You need to have someone who has the ability to manage a business, and someone who has a PR and community chops, and then someone who can speak, and someone who can content create, someone who knows content creators and influencers and how to talk to them. Then you need someone who knows development and workflows and how to to make a development team sprint and do a development plan and a roadmap and patch planning. And then you need someone who knows how to budget a book and to balance a book and do a budget and, you know, run operations for a business. Like, dude, this is not easy to find someone that has all of those things and then has the knowledge and experience of all of the years of GTA that I do on top of it. But then on top of it, knowledge of the game industry and marketing and all these different things. Like, that is not a common skill set. That's why it's not that easy. It would, at the moment, I would have to find a unicorn that has my exact skill set, and I have a weird skill set, or I'd have to find multiple different people who have those skill sets that work well together, and then that takes time to build the team. Department of Corrections, I've never seen it done super well. The ERP Lord. Why am I the ERP Lord? When does this happen? Okay. I feel like whenever you are so willing to help people take advantage of that kindness and overload you with shit to do. I mean, I don't know if that's what's I don't think that's happening to me. Will the Angst 11 ever return to Prodigy RP PD? No, because he got his butt hurt because someone yelled at him, so he didn't return. I've already yelled at him for this. Man needs someone he can trust first. I mean, there's lots of people on my team that I do trust, guys. Like, don't get it wrong, but there's not many people who want to do all the different pieces. Who the fuck is this? Who's this? The Pike? He's just feeding me? If there are out-of-character conversations and the RP quality is going down on the public server, people need to make me aware of that because I'm not aware of it. And I will get on the public staff to get that shit straight. Because that public server isn't meant to be a fucking cesspit. Bro, I didn't understand anything you just explained. You sound... I am busy. Thanks on bank truck hostage. I've made this really clear that I don't allow... I don't know why people think it's okay to bring a hostage to the turn-in. Like, that's so power gamey and fail RP. Like, what the fuck are people doing? Like, I talked to like everyone who's done it so far. I'm like, you can't do that, and everyone understands. So I'll check the ERP logs for you, not for myself, of course, but to be helpful. Ask, sure, we'll dial you in. Okay, we'll get you the access you need. Can you give the retirement home pudding and bingo some shit? Yeah. Oh my. I know these things, this shit in the military, and have a degree in computer science, and have even made development worked on GTA servers. Yeah, I mean, people have worked on GTA servers, but like, I'm just telling you, this is like a different beast. Yeah, Aries, I mean, I try a lot of that stuff. It's just, stuff pops up a lot, like, very quickly. I don't think people truly understand, like, how iterative this is. Like, it really is. Like, shit just pops up when you least expect it, like, and you can't help it. Like, it's a lot. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, running this shit is a lot. Look, you're doing great. The viewers really enjoyed leader. Okay, I really appreciate where you're coming from, but I will tell you that from my perspective, the viewers are not the people I answer to. I just want to make this clear because, listen, I value all the viewers and the fact that you guys are here and like you make this possible because you watch all the streamers. But at the end of the day, I'm accountable to two people: myself and the community that is Prodigy. That's who I'm accountable to. It's not to the viewers. And I'm not always going to do things that the viewers like because I'm accountable to these two people, and how I feel in my ethics and what is good for the community may not always be readily apparent to you guys. From my perspective and yours are going to diverge and differ. And I'm sorry, like, it has nothing against anyone, but that's just the way it is. Who's the feeder? What is going on in my chat? Have you heard about the gangs only having... Yeah, someone said it earlier. I'm going to look into it. As a cop in the public service, it's been wonderful, but there are times when you get trolls, but get sorted and also expected. Yeah, we'll have to do it. Is my jaw... No, I got a big mouth. It's how I handle all those phalluses that you guys all say I've handled in all these comments or replies, you know. I didn't mean to say that in a bad way. Just to know. No. I don't think you meant it in a bad way. I was just being clear. Okay, that's good stuff. And maybe what we should do is for the public server, we should schedule a community meeting with the public admins so they can take ownership of that and these issues, because I think these are fair issues for you guys to bring up, and that's not the RP quality we want on the public server. I don't want to leave the public server as a dusty a thing we just leave to make money. You know, like it matters to me that people enjoy playing there. Yeah, they're different. How's it going, Wicked? Is anything going to happen with the long queue times in the public server? Yeah, I'm going to open up another public server. Said intern at said data center has made that more difficult, though. Can we bring back Parsons so we can send Vinny to... Guys, stop making old jokes at fucking shots. Chill out. He's not that bad. Can we get a shout out how we'd be able to play on Prodigy? Absolutely. You can play on ProdigyRP.net, make an application, or you can just go there and play on the public server when you make an account. Also, the server had advanced weed systems like extracts and edible. Look, I want to do stuff like that too, but it's like making them into like bigger game systems is tough. You know, like how do you want that to play in? It gets rough because there's only so many buffs you can do in GTA, you know, that without it getting silly. We've seen that with the way we did the pills and stuff. It's going to have to be a completely different ecosystem. It's the only way public servers are going to work. They can't share a database because public servers need to be their own thing. It's the only way they work. They need to be their own place, no ecosystem, their own RP. I know you don't answer to us viewers. Here, hey, I appreciate it. Listen, guys, I still appreciate you. I didn't mean that in a mean way, like as like a fuck you to the viewers. Like, you guys are very important, but I just really want to draw the line that like I can sit here and talk to you guys all day, and like you guys can say W Ravage, W this, but at the end of the day, what I need to make sure that happens is that the players on the play on the server on Prodigy go W Prodigy. That's what matters to me. At the end of the day, I just want that to be clear, because I know sometimes the viewers don't always agree with me, and that's okay. That's okay. You cannot agree with me. That's okay. And in fact, there's plenty of times I'm wrong, but that's the test of leadership, is that you have to raise past when you're wrong or right. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a call in a second. Actually, I'm probably gonna do a narrator stream to fuck with people. Any updates for PD, please? Cars. I mean, we're looking at stuff for PD. Like, that's our next pass we're doing. Ravage smack shots viewers. What? What is this list? What is this tier list? Only thing that's accurate about that is my name comes before shots. Am I right? Flip that for him for tomorrow. Only Ravage take your shots retirement home. I know you don't care about it. Okay, I didn't say I didn't care about you. It's that I have to. Okay, you guys are being funny. Will Prodigy ever sell their assets through TubeCity? We may. We've talked about it. We'll have, oh my fucking god, we'll have options for the Red Dead for Red Dead. We're updating the site to be our same site, all in the same ecosystem. So there'll be some options here. Did I hear narrator? Nothing beats the old narrator streams. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a narrator stream here just to give some players some fun. Your mom's, oh my god. Only thing is a bunch of stuff revolving around meth is getting a bit much, and I hope the new drugs and heist are completely separate. Yeah, there's the new drug is gonna be part of the drug room, and the pills shouldn't be around. Listen, that was a big criticism I had for the devs, was the meth powders and stuff. Like, you'll notice that a lot of that shit changed. I really was not a fan of that. You want to see me mauled Hutch more? Also, I want to say the PD in public plus the EMS have been absolutely awesome. That's great to hear. Good night, Nick Zero. Hope you have a good night. See you at our date. Wait, our date was in 5 minutes. You're going to bed? During our date. This fucking guy. Can you clarify on the whole... Wow, what needs clarification? I think Prodigy's working well. Some stuff is the main problem, but I do think PD needs more help to catch crims. Yeah, I agree. I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to implement. I don't want to go drop it all here. I'll drop it tomorrow. You made a weed shop type system where people can open shops. Okay. I mean, the stuff we talked about, all this pie in the sky stuff we've talked about before, but it's just like, how do you make it work into our stuff? Oh, I did not confirm a patch tomorrow. Don't give my devs a heart attack. You don't understand how often this happens. You guys gaslight them into thinking I said there's a patch on a certain day. And then they crunch for like a full 18 hours. And then by the time I wake up and get to talk to them, like, hey guys, how's it going? They're like wired up on caffeine and Red Bulls. What do you mean? How's it going? We've been working on this patch you said was tomorrow. I was like, I didn't say there was a patch tomorrow. That happens a lot, by the way. When are A-class personal cars going to be implemented into the server? Gav, implement them into the server. Congrats. They go on sale tonight. You're welcome. There you go. He confirmed. They actually are red. I don't think you guys understand the devs. They actually are Red Bull goblins. You don't understand. Like, I don't know how. I think the Polish have have an ability to overcap on caffeine or something. I'm not sure what it is. Must be something in the soil. So I'm just telling you, they drink a lot of Red Bull. I don't know how they do it. There's something like a grow room. I'm Polish and confirmed 6 cups of coffee daily. Ah, so you know the Bober Kurwa? Bober Kurwa? If you know, you know. All the Polish will show themselves in the chat now. When can I bring back titty milk? I love how it literally censored Bober Kurwa. Ah, they show. You guys know Bober Kurwa? Who wants to share the Bober Kurwa clip? Which one of you Poles want to show it? Yeah, here. Someone get me the Bober Kurwa. See, there's lots of Polish here. You guys don't even know it. Oh yes, here we are. So this is Bober Kurwa. You guys need to know this if you don't. This is legendary. Let me translate. He's saying like, look at this beaver, look at this fucking guy, look at this fucking beaver. He's like chasing him down. You're just like, yeah, guys. That is Boberkowa. Listen, with all the Polish devs, you should learn this and know it. Okay, this is the Polish meme. This is the one. Okay, you've been warned. It's like saying, look at this big fucking guy, this big beefy beef. You know, like that's the stuff they're saying. This guy, and then he goes to grab him, right? Like that's the whole thing. It's just funny. It's just nonsense. There's also one with a Polish guy fighting an alligator. Yeah, there's a Boberkowa song. Or Boberkurva, right? Kurva? I think it's actually how it's pronounced. Yeah, there's also the alligator video. The Polish guy in the swamp fighting the alligator with the paddle. See, my boss is Polish, and then my counterpart at work is Polish, and then I come here, and then all the devs are Polish, and so I'm so in tune with my Polish side. It's actually crazy. Who the fuck is? What in the hell are you doing? That Luther? When people do the RP,
what are you looking at?
What in the fuck are you doing, Luther? You look dumb as hell.
What? I look
Your
good.
fucking shirt doesn't even fit you. Look at your goddamn chains going through your goddamn t-shirt.
Really?
Let me
Whose
just
fault
redirect.
is
What in the
that?
hell's on your stupid ass pocket? What's going
I
on?
don't know.